Hey, what's going on, guys? Kalamazi here, and this video is going to be actually based around the Pandaria remix. This is going to be a Warlock leveling guide looking at Demo, Destro, Aff, talent-wise for the remix that comes out today or tomorrow, whenever this video launches. We're going to go over the basics of what the Pandaria remix is, like leveling-wise, the cloak, all that briefly, then look at builds for Destro, Demo, and Aff, what I play, and go from there. Now, unlike retail, there's not a whole lot of optimization, like buying flasks and potions and all that. You just level from a low level to 70, I think, whatever the max is, and go from there. So talent pathing, all that, probably the most, like, realistic way you can optimize. But yeah, hopefully it helps out, all that, and yeah, let's do it. All right, so we're gonna hit on the basics of what the Pandaria remix are, leveling, all the kind of stuff here and there, and then get into Destro, Demo, and Aff. I'll have timestamps down below for each spec if you want to look at just that section or whatever. And yeah, we can go from there. So Pandaria time walking begins May 16th at 10 a.m. Pacific, so 1 p.m. Eastern for me. It lasts, we're not really sure when it ends exactly, but we're expecting somewhere around pre-patch, or I guess what's going to be pre-patch maybe for War Within, which is around August 19th in the in-game calendar and all that. Also, this is written by Neri on Wowhead. Links to both down below for his articles if you want them. The basics here, most of the zones you can level in, like at a very low level. Jade Forest 10, Four Winds 20, Crankalang Wilds 20, Kunlai Summit 25. And at the same time, raids open up like in more of like a flex LFR version, non-heroic, the easier difficulties at 25, 35, 40, 50, and 60 to 70. Now, a lot of time running, you can start it in your main character screen like the Plunderstorm. One of the main things, the main focus, I guess, of time running is the actual cloak you get, which is somewhere right here, basically. So you can upgrade your cloak by looting chests, killing mobs, the raid drop other things as well, bronze caches, have things in them, all that kind of stuff. And you gain intellect, stamina, crit, haste, leech mastery, versatile at, and experience, which can be used essentially to level your other characters faster. This cloak is essentially, the stats you gain are essentially account-wide. You can see this intellect, stamina, it will carry over to other characters, and the big thing is the actual experience gain carries over to other characters. So the first character you level will be the slowest that you have to level. Second and third and fourth will snowball, because they'll also get, the little upgrades, threads of experience from like leveling, and that will carry over into second character, third character, fourth character, so on and so forth. Now these characters also transfer to retail once Pandaria is over. So if you're looking to level characters for War Within or whatever, and you don't want to play them until, whenever this event ends, likely in pre-patch, this is a great way to do it. If you don't want to buy the boosts for retail or whatever. And second and third characters should level pretty quickly. I think I hit like 40 or so. I think I was in, let's see, I believe I was in, where are the zones at here? I think I was going to Dread Waste roughly at about 4 hours play, give or take, on PTR. I was leveling sort of slow, talking to chat and everything else, but it's actually pretty cool experiencing the Pandaria content. I guess for me, for the first time, essentially leveled back then like once, so I was only playing a whole lot. At the same time, dungeons, halls, monasteries, elements are all open, and when you get to max level being 70, these raids have a heroic version of them where they're more difficult, more bronze drops, and more gearing, this and that, so on and so forth. Now, there's a lot of things you can get power-wise as well. There's like gear and gems, which, I mean, obviously it's going to be relatively involved and sort of convoluted. There's a lot of gems you can get. Things like soul tether, there's soul shape here somewhere in here. Basically, there's soul shape. Things that buff your party, things that buff you, stat increases, raw damage procs. There's a lot of gems, cogwheel gems, baseline gems. There's soul shape right there. Death's Advanced, Dark Pact. This does indeed work for Warlocks having 2 Dark Pacts. Old Covenant abilities, Door of Shadows, sprint, roll, disengage, all that kind of stuff, and a lot of just tinker gems that give you, like, you kill an enemy, you inflict frost damage, other enemies, deliverance, and kindle, giving you a chance to have a fiery shield. A lot of things here and there. Now, I'm sure when it comes to tuning, some are going to be better than others. We'll see where it goes, obviously, with, tuning being the way that it is, but it's more of a limited time event, a fun event, and all that. And you'll acquire a lot of these while you're leveling up through quests, through mobs, all that kind of stuff. You even purchase gems, 400 bronze, to obtain a cogwheel gem that you currently don't have at various vendors. Now, as far as rewards are concerned, besides, the thrill of battle and all that stuff, let's sort of cringe. You can get a handful of transmog kind of effects, right? I mean, the cloaks here, I guess toys essentially, the wings come out of your cloak. These will indeed translate to retail from what I understand as far as everything is concerned. Once the event is over, or sorry, once obtained. There you go. Once obtained. So transmogs here and there. There's a mount here. Reach level 20 with a time running character. The biggest thing, people are looking at buying mounts from Pandaria. Now they have a handful of new mounts in. I believe there's 30 mounts that are just specific to this event only. I believe. A lot of like reskins, but cool like colorations and variations of them. Riding cranes. I think this is the flying disc. More discs. Yaks. This and that. Cobalt Juggernaut. Fell Iron Juggernaut. A lot of cool mounts you haven't really seen before. Very cool, for example. And at the same time, they increase as far as like raw bronze count is concerned. And if you want some of the older mounts like Primal Direhorns, Horadon, Galleon, Jikun, the Juggernaut from Garrosh and Mythic, you can get them as well, but they cost a lot more bronze. The higher end bronze mounts in Remix are 6,600, 2,200, 4,400. These are 38,000, 50,000, for example. I actually had this mount, but I mean, if you want to invest time in the grinding bronze out and such, you can get these old mounts, right? I bought GQ on black market auction house recently. I didn't want to spend as much like bronze on it, and you know, time is money. But there's toys as well, things like that. And yeah, the Blizzard has clarified the raids will be a daily lockout once Pandaria goes live, both on retail and in Pandaria itself. The raids are a great way to get bronze. I believe Dungeons gives them as well, but with it being a daily lockout, it shouldn't be that bad. We have to see when the game launches and where, you know, bronze is actually at acquisition wise. So that being said, let's get into Destro, Ath, and Demo leveling builds for Pandaria. Alrighty, so here is going to be like the class tree and spec tree for Demonology. Now, I've tried to record this part of the video probably 15 times now. It's confusing me. There's no way to show talent pathing in a convenient, non-confusing way being at level 70. There's no PTR for Pandaland, so I can't show how it looks from level 10, 11, 12, 13. It basically looks like this. Trying to show it from, you know, an empty talent tree. I'm having to go like, oh yeah, 1 point here, 1 point here, one here, one here. It becomes so convoluted and confusing at this point in the tree. It confuses me. It's gonna confuse y'all. So we're gonna just do this. I'm gonna show you what I would play for 2 full builds when it comes to leveling, right? And you can base it off these builds here. You can choose, for the most part, you can just sort of see, hey, these are the trees I would probably play. Your build might vary from mine. That's okay. This is going to be the general class tree for every build here. So this is the class tree section of the video and demo section. Also, the video is 3 hours long if I go through each individual talent here. Your pathing may vary from mine. That is okay, because in the end, we're going to level really fast with cogwheel gems, tinker gems, all that. And it should be a fun leveling experience, right? So this is where I go for my general class tree. I level with Burning Rush on a lot. So Burning Rush, Fiendish Drive for double, you know, mitigation on Burning Rush. Coil is good for general in-cap healing. Grabbing Feldom also. I think I backtrack for this, but it's fine. You can grab it whenever you want. 2 points in Demon Skin. If you want more like defensiveness, you can just pull out of here and go into Fel Armor. Then going into both Curses, Mortal Coil, grabbing Fortitude, Wrath of Minion, Demonic Inspiration, and Demonic Embrace for stamina increases, as well as damage increases for your pets and all that. Then when it comes to general pathing as well, I'm going through Gateway here. I think Gateway is good. It also gives you access to Shadow Fury here. If you don't want Gateway for leveling, you can go through Lifeblood, but I think Gateway is good for leveling. Grabbing Sweet Souls for Dark Chord and our Dark Pact unlocking. Then at that point, I went into 2 points here, 2 points here. After that, branched out a bit, went into Frequent Donor and Dark Fury for more I guess, often having the ability to stun. Soul Link. 2 points in Soul Conduit, 2 points in Grimoire Synergy, 1 point in Profane Bargain, and then 1 point in Inquisitor's Gaze and Soul Burn. Now, obviously, different parts of the tree like will unlock earlier. You can backtrack at some point too. This wasn't my last pick, for example. When I can get down to like Soul Burn and Inquisitor's Gaze through Soul Conduit, I will do that before I put a point in Profane Bargain and Dark Fury, for example, right? So pathing choices might, well, will vary a bit based on what you do, but this is like the general utility that I want when leveling for the most part in the class tree. If you want more defensiveness, you can pull from here, just put it in Fel Armor. To a similar extent, if you want, you know, teachings for whatever reason, you can do that, banish, so on and so forth. But that is like the general class tree where I'm going to start. Now, once again, at level 10, you'll have the first point in the class tree, then over to spec tree, back over here, back over here. This is going to be the general class tree section of the video. I'm not going to record this every time for every section. It is very hard to show how you bounce back and forth between class tree and spec tree. I'm trying to show how to build talent trees here. So once again, your pathing may vary a bit, but honestly, if you want to screenshot this or whatever, yeah, this is where I path for the general class tree. Now, getting into the demonology section here, this is where I would land for a build. Obviously, there are different gates in the trees, being, you know, like gate 1 essentially up here, gate 2 in here, and gate 3 being down here, as far as, like, you know, the main talents are concerned. The big thing with this tree, very similar to the build we play on retail, where it's just our cleave build for demonology. You're grabbing Dreadstalkers, obviously, Dreadlash, Anilian Training, Demon Bolt into Demonic Knowledge. I would likely go path into Anilian Training and Dreadlash where I went over here. Not really needed at first 3 levels. But past there, you have Demonic Strength. You could play Bombers here if you want for just a more like consistent cleave profile. Mobs die really early, or really fast early on. I found just having Demonic Strength tied to my Felguard was better for leveling. Fast, efficient, just, you know, hit it, things are dead, move on, right? Then at that point, you know, you have Implosion over here, Soul Strike with Invocation, Carnivorous Stalkers. You also have Shadow Invocation for that Bomber's Cleave, whenever you cast Hand and Gul'dan, basically. You have a point in Malefic Impact for Hand and Gul'dan cleave damage, a point here in Siphon for Demonic Cores more often. This increases Implosion damage, which you'll be casting a lot during leveling and all that. Point in Inner Demons, and then over here, obviously Grimoire Felguard, Fell Sunder, Demonic Calling for instant cast dogs, you have procs, right? 2 points in Dread Calling for bigger dog chomps, basically. And you have your point in Tyrant, and Tauren for pet damage, pet damage, pet damage. And you have Guillotine or Hatred here, along with Pact the Mother. Now, I'm going to play Hatred once again. Things die really fast. You've got a lot of Demonic Cores. If you want Guillotine for more AoE, you can do it. It's fine. Up to you. To a similar extent, you can pull out of here and go into Cavitation if you want it for just more Felguard cleaves everything down kind of damage. Up to you. This is very similar to our cleave build that we play in retail for Demonology here. But the big thing for Demo, stack cleave. Pets crushed. Felguard does a lot of damage. It's mostly just running around, sending your pet to attack mobs, casting Hand and Gul'dans, casting dogs, and moving on. This is where I'd start. Once again, general pathing may vary from character to character, but I think this is the best build for leveling. Pretty much when it comes to Demo. And out of all 3 specs, when I level, I'm playing Demonology. Fastest, you can cleave things down, most efficient, and all of that. Now, for Affliction leveling, the class tree pathing is actually exactly the same, except for that I pulled a point. I believe I pulled a point actually out of Profane Bargain. I did here to grab Grim Feast. Now, that's because I'm playing Inevitable Demise when it comes to leveling as an Affliction Warlock, right? Inevitable Demise also works with Soul Rot, where you can cleave drain lives. I'm not even sure how that term or wording works. By the way, Soul Rot causes your drain life to cleave. If it's max stack IDs, even higher than, you know, 10. If you have stacks in your ID, if you cast Soul Rot, it will cleave on 4 to 5 targets, depending who's, you know, you're hitting and things with your drain life. So having it channel faster means it's not a damage increase per se. It will just channel faster, so you can cast other abilities quicker. You know, it'll finish in 2 seconds versus 2.5, roughly, give or take. It's not a raw damage increase, but obviously the healing is nice as well, and, you know, there is that. Now, class tree, already covered in the first section, timestamp down below. For Affliction leveling here, so obviously Raptures first. Past then, I'd probably just go into Seed. Seed, UA, and then you have Sow, giving you that max AoE profile, spamming Seed in AoE. You got a point in Wrath and Agony, a point in Nightfall, and then 2 points here in Shadow's Embrace. Now, you could put 2 points here in Virtuosity as well for leveling, because, like, you're not really draining Shadow's Embrace very often when it comes to leveling. Both are sort of like whatever when it comes to leveling. You're likely casting more Drain Souls, and then, you know, this is likely more relevant when it comes to, like, just casting Drain Soul during leveling compared to Shadow's Embrace. Both are fine. Whatever. Doesn't matter a whole lot. 2 points here in Kindled Malice for pathing into Absolute Corruption, Vile Taint, and Drain Soul. Then past there, we're grabbing both Soul Flame and Inevitable Demise. Very good AoE life gain, life drain / gain. At the same time, mobs die, they cleave, which means more mobs die from Soul Flame. Very good. 2 points here in Malignancy, 2 points here in Withering Bolt, 2 points here in Sacrolash. Now, I don't love taking this in single target, or sorry, in leveling, but like the pathing here is awkward where you can take this or 1 point in PI to grab Creeping Death. I'm just going to path through here. Same time, it does matter a little bit. There's some prior damage time to time on packs. 1 point here, unlocking your final capstones through this row, obviously. In Creeping Death, causing your dots to occur more often. 1 point in Dark Glare. 1 point in Soul Rot into Gluttony into Dark Harvest. I would path through here first, likely, over everything else. And then grab like Dark Glare, Creeping Death, and whatever order you want, and putting your last point in Crescendo. But at the same time, you'll be towards max level at that point, and things like just blowing up in a minute or two. But this is where I'd path. The main focus of this tree, you have some prio focus and like UA targets through that, Malignancy, Withering Bolt as well. And you have AoE and Seed, and you have Soul Flame Cleave and Drain Life, ID Cleave via Soul Rot, Absolute Corruption. Basically, you put up dots, you run around, throw some corruptions on a mob, run to the next pack. That mob will die chasing you. If you're low on life, you can Drain Life with ID, which heals through Burning Rush damage. I leave it on permanently, pretty much. And that is fast, quick, and efficient leveling if you are looking to play Affliction Warlock in Pandaland. And finally, we have Destruction. Once again, the class tree was covered in the first part of this video, timestamp down below. There's one basically bit of variance. If you're playing Grim Feast's Affliction, we are playing Destro here. It is worth mentioning, I'll talk about it at the start as well. You can pull a point somewhere like out of Dark Fury and put it in like Fel Synergy if you need more healing for you and your pet. But for the most part, I didn't need it while I was leveling. But once again, there are options, right? Now, as far as Destro's concerned, I have a bit of a leveling cook here. I think Destro's probably the worst spec to level as for Warlock. You can do Aff, Demo, but they're all fine, realistically. So what I've done here, it's obviously Chaos Bolt, Conflict Rate, Reverse Entropy, Rain of Fire. So I'm playing a Cataclysm base build, definitely better than Inferno for leveling. Pull some mobs up, round them up, Cataclysm, blast them down. Now, some people have in the past played like Channel Demon Fire when it comes to leveling. You can do that if you want. I've opted for a build going into Shadow Burn, which is very strong for leveling. You can snipe mobs, have infinite shards, and Conflagration of Chaos, giving you big conflict rate damage. Also pathing through Shadow Burn in the first place, you might as well. Now, besides that, you're playing Backlash. You can just pull this point and put it here if you want to. Actually, you can't, but you could if you wanted to, by pulling a point out of Conflagration and just putting it here to get CDF if you want that, sequencing of Cataclysm into CDF. But I'm just going to go with double Conflagration of Chaos, because whatever. But either way, hold up to you. I'm skipping over Roaring Blaze here. Just don't think it's really worthwhile. You could pull this point if you want to put it like in Roaring Blaze. You could also just straight up put it in this for a third conflict rate for leveling. So, like, there are certainly options if you want to go into CDF, or you want to go into Roaring Blaze, or want to go into Improved Conflict Rate. I'm just doing this. I think it's fine. 2 points in Flashpoint, obviously. 2 points in Eradication. 2 points in Ashen to unlock the final part of your tree here. Now, I am playing Chaos Bringer here. Chaos Bolt, Rain of Fire, Shadow Burn damage increase. You are Shadow Burning during leveling, so there's that. Infernal, Crushing Chaos, and 2-minute Infernal. Having faster Infernals, very strong when it comes to leveling, just bigger cooldowns more often. And besides that, playing Ritual of Ruin into Master Ritualist into Avatar of Destruction. Pathing here, sort of up to you, it doesn't matter a whole lot. I probably just path through like Infernal first into Ritual of Ruin and then finish it off in Chaos Bringer. But Destro has that profile if you can pull some mobs, throw Rain of Fires out, Cata them. If you're playing a point in CDF, you can do that. Or if you're playing double Conflagration of Chaos, you can just roll with that too. But it has that Rain of Fire, Cataclysm, Inferno, just kind of base profile. I'm playing Havoc here as well to cleave multiple mobs down. If you want, you can swap to Mayhem here. You can play Cry Havoc. I wanted to hit on this at the end of this section because you can just say, hey, I want to play, single target Destro, and if things proc, great, by a Mayhem. You can play Havoc here as well, but either way, I'd play Cry Havoc here. I wouldn't really play Pandemonium because, honestly, I don't think like Havoc duration increase is going to matter a whole lot when you're leveling. Yeah, so probably either Havoc or Mayhem here, and then Cry Havoc personally. But either way, Destro's fine. I think Aff and Demo are better, a bit faster. But if you want, it's fine. And if you want to rain Hellfire and Brimstone down by a 2-minute Infernals, this is going to be the build for you. So thanks for watching, guys. It wraps it up, and hopefully if you have any questions about leveling optimizations or just general questions about Pandaria Remix, this answered it all for you. Now, I'm not sure to what extent I'm going to play Pandaria. I'm going to be doing it day one, streaming it, all that stuff leveling-wise. I don't know if I'm going to be raiding with the guild. I'm not really sure because we've got Alpha going to Beta soon. We've got S4 going on. We're still raiding with retail and sales and all that kind of stuff. And with Beta on the horizon and the lot changes that are here for Demo and Destro Aff coming in the next few weeks, there's a lot going on, and I'm playing Diablo a little bit, so there's that. It is my shameless obsession or whatever. But either way, hopefully the video helped clarify what you guys might have need to know about Pandaria and stuff. And yeah, so I think it'll be fun. I wish the first character leveled a bit faster, but second, third, and fourth are going to be awesome, like super fast. If you're looking to level quickly or have like a lot of characters for retail level for War-Within, this is a great way to do it. You can earn bronze, buy mounts, whatever have you, level them super fast, and whenever it ends, they all go over to retail. So now I believe weak wars and add-ons and all that are actually working in Pandaria. I didn't customize mine to some extent to like have abilities pop up at certain levels and all that. It might work, I don't know, but if you want them or anything in general, links to Twitch and Discord down below. We're all for free for you guys. At the same time, every video, always at the end, a huge shout out to my patrons for all support on Patreon. Thank you all a million times. Really appreciate it. If you're looking at supporting on Patreon, should be a link up here, as well as down below in the video description. Now, I have a handful of mounts from, a couple of them from retail. I bought G-Kun off the auction house, like, black market a few days ago for, like, I think 300k, give or take. There's a handful of rare ones I still want, like the Shah mounts, the World Boss mounts, and all that. But bronze didn't drop incredibly, it was semi-scarce during PTR, but I know higher cloaks give more bronze and all that. And with the raids being a daily lockout, I might invest some time into it. We'll see, but it depends how fun it is. And like I said, I didn't really play a whole lot in Pandaria, even though there are retail talents only. I didn't see the content, so if I got some time, might be worth it. And yeah, all that being said, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you all again soon on stream. Peace.